Welcome back. And as we all know that the Jubilee Party will be launched on Saturday. Tomorrow there will be a delegates conference as the several parties that are within Jubilee dissolve to form that one party ahead of the big launch. Some have said it will be the mother of all launches, but before that, of course, let me introduce those who will be responding to some of the questions. And that is Suna East Member of Parliament. We have Junet Mohamed and Moses Kuria. He is the Gatundu South Member of Parliament, actually just from his constituency, launching a 24-hour market, the first in Kenya. Sure. Well done, sir. But first, there is also the announcement that we've just heard today, at least a clarification that there will also be a launch of the new look ODM. Is this a knee-jerk reaction to counter what Jubilee are planning on Saturday?
You're talking to me?
Of course.
Yeah, no, it's not it's not a knee-jerk reaction to what Jubilee is doing, because ODM has been a party that has been in existence for 10 years. It's for a fact that we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, and this is something that we have been planning within the party for the last 3 or 4 months. And I hope, first, before I go into details, I saw you've given a very good coverage about Jubilee's progress and President Uhuru and Deputy President. I hope tomorrow night you will do for ODM, the live and types of Raila Odinga and ODM, the way they have delivered the new constitution and all the good things they have done.
Well, we'll wait and see, but
I hope you will do that. So,
right,
secondly, to answer your question,
yes, is it a coincidence?
No, it's not a coincidence. This is something that we have been planning, and the curtain raiser was a function that we did at Laiko last week for Nairobi, and we identified Mombasa to be the choice for us to do our celebrations for the 10th anniversary of our party.
All right, let me.
It is the second oldest party after KANU, the third maybe after Fort Kenya, the oldest party in Kenya.
So that is why we're having this Saturday function.
Correct.
All right, and we heard from Kakamega, the ODM leader and code leader Raila Odinga, say that this launch that was expected on Saturday is akin to an old monkey in a new forest. Moses Kuria, what do you have to say about this? So there will be no effect.
Well, let me start by commenting about the ODM, the small bash in Mombasa.
A small bash, you say? Why do you call it that?
I can only wish people well, and I think what they're doing is noble. I think it's good to celebrate 10 years a party. I think it is a fact that ODM is the second oldest party in Kenya after KANU. I applaud them for that, because we need strong, established parties in this country.
Right.
So I cannot sit here and say that it's wrong for ODM to go to Mombasa, it's wrong for them to have a bad day. I can only wish them well and say it's a good thing that we are really entrenching. As a person who really participated in the clamor for multipartyism, it's a good thing that we're having, parties go, some to Mombasa, others to Nairobi.
But you don't see it at all as a counter of what you'll be doing on Saturday?
Well, a counter or not a counter, it does not matter for me. What matters is that, is there anything wrong in going to Mombasa to celebrate 10 years? Absolutely nothing wrong.
Right.
And I can only wish them well. And I would wish that my friend Suna, as we call him, and my friend Raila Odinga would actually wish Jubilee well, because we are all part of trying to make this country better,
yes,
to have a more stable democracy and to have foundations that are strong. I believe ODM is a very strong party.
Okay.
I think they're doing the right thing for celebrating 10 years. It's not as mean achievement. Equally, do not try and draw, see something bad or everything bad about what you are trying to do as Jubilee. We are part of the same country. The preamble to this constitution says Kenya is a multi-party state. Multi-party is when we have ODM on one hand and Jubilee on the other. But that is where the similarity ends. Now the difference is set in. What's happening in Mombasa, as I've said, is a birthday party for a party that is 10 years. Right. That's very good. But what's happening in Kasarani is actually nothing short of history in the making. That for the first time in this country, we have a party that transcends regional, ethnic, gender, religious boundaries. We have got a party which, have got people who want to come up with a party and say, let us have a party that is going to outlive us.
Okay.
That's going to be there even way after Uhuru Kenyatta is gone, Moses Kuria is gone, William Ruto is gone. Let's have a party for posterity. So there's a whole difference between what we're doing in Kasarani and what's happening in Mombasa.
And perhaps in the word difference that you've used, we could probably draw parallels. You've called it a small bash, and earlier they said in this big historic bash that you describe it as on Saturday expected, that there are questions to the resource that is going to this particular launch. Ms. Junet.
Ours?
Yes, you're questioning the resource.
No. Are you questioning our resource or
You are
Jubilee?
questioning the resource that Jubilee will be putting into to its launch.
That's right.
What evidence do you have that it is not well sourced?
No,
or it is
what we said
being
in
misused?
what we said in our press statement or press conference today is that, parties are organs of governance. Parties are funded by the exchequer nowadays, not like before.
Right.
Especially parties like ODM, TNA, and URP. So we were saying, in the spirit of transparency, in the spirit of accountability, it behoves Jubilee to tell Kenyans the source of the funds they're using for this big bash that my friend is talking about, not like ours, which is a small bash, as he said.
Yes.
So we wanted Kenyans to know, where is the source of this fund? Is it from the political parties fund? Is it from the donations from Moses Kuria? Is it from the Communist Party that they say they have done, an agreement with? Is it from, other sources? Kenyans want to know, in the spirit of transparency and accountability,
Right.
that we are spending this much and this is our source of fund.
In fact, some figures have been thrown this weekly for Parani and Kakamega earlier. He said, questioning the 3 billion building that has been bought and also saying the 300 cars that are going to be used at really hefty prices. Would you clarify on the source?
Parties are made largely out of volunteerism. And there's a lot of misconception in this regard. For example, people think that there's so many vehicles that have just been purchased. The truth of the matter is, as a party, we have agreed that we are going to, everyone with a personal vehicle, from a Vitz to, whichever big vehicle you have, is going to be branded. And there's an outpouring of people out there who are branding their vehicles, party members who want to be associated with the party. Personally, I'm going to have, 1,000+ people coming from my constituency at my expense, because I do believe this is a historic moment. I don't want my people to miss out from this part of history. I don't know why they find it wrong when we contribute resources towards the party as volunteers. Yet when they have got mass action, their supporters contribute stones, and we don't take offense with that.
I agree with him that there's no problem when members contribute and members come together and do certain parts. But you see, what shocks us is a party that is yet to be born, a party that is going to be born on Saturday, already acquired a huge building. ODM is 10 years old now. ODM has been in government. Last parliament, they were part of government. They never bought any building of that magnitude. Now we are wondering, a party that is being formed, and majority of the parties who are merging, other than Jubilee, other than TNA and URP, are briefcase parties.
Right.
Those are parties who don't even have proper offices. We know those are parties with meager resources. So we are asking, it's good to question, and that's the role of the opposition. Where is this funding for that huge property that has been displayed on the screens of TVs? Where is that money coming from?
If you could clarify, is it first of all 3 billion as weekly for
No, it is not 3 billion at all.
Where is this coming from?
One of the good things in this country is that our friends from ODM, they know more even than what they should be knowing. Because what is your problem where the money is coming from? As long as, what is your problem? Have you lost any money somewhere?
When they
is there anywhere you can say public resources have been lost, or ODM left some money somewhere in knowledge how somebody came and took it? What is actually your problem?
You see, we want to entrench the culture of accountability.
Right.
We want to entrench transparency.
Yeah, but
and that is what is in Article 10 of the Constitution. National values. If ODM today buys KICC, it behoves them to tell the Kenyans that we got a grant from German Christian Union Party.
Have we contravened any law?
But are you getting to the point? It hasn't been mentioned here, but are you getting to the point that probably some of this resource is coming from the proceeds of corruption?
Yeah.
Is this what you're saying?
You see, we don't want to judge them.
Okay.
And we don't want to make it is him to tell us, this is where I got this money from to buy that building.
And that's exactly what
So why is he fearing to tell us?
No.
Yeah, would you be able to, in terms of...
let me be gratuitous. Yes. My basic point is that it's none of your business. But if I might say something, let me say that our members do believe in the new party we are forming. And don't forget, we are collapsing up to 15 parties to form one party. So even by simple mathematics of 1 + 1 + 1, if you take the collective capabilities of URP, of TNA, of New Ford Kenya, of all these other parties, of Republican Party, and you combine them into one, surely we'll have some muscle.
Sure. Okay.
And that's why we say, more.
But he calls some of them as briefcase parties.
Maybe the briefcase has money.
No, you see, Moses Kuria wants to, take Kenyans for a ride.
Right.
The only serious parties that are forming a team now is URP and TNA. The rest of the parties are not even, they are non-parliamentary parties. They don't qualify even to be called parliamentary parties because they don't have the number and the threshold to be called parliamentary parties. Where is this? It's a simple question. He needs to tell us the president of China is called who? Jiang Yungying.
Not Xi Jinping.
Yes, sent us the grant of 3 billion, sent us 2 billion. Or Moses Kuria, may be rich enough. He can say, I donated 200 million myself as Moses Kuria.
Right.
It is, it is the spirit of accountability. Look, ODM is 10 years old.
Mark,
let him respond because we'll belabor this point.
What we are saying is we have got so many members of our respective parties who are contributing their resources. If you can give me your email address tomorrow, I can send you the entire list of all those people who are benefactors to the party. I think just take it at face value.
All right.
That members of Jubilee from all the parties have contributed to make this party very strong, because we do believe that we need to have a strong party foundation as a basis of new politics in this country.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure they'll take it at face value. They will.
No.
Yes.
One thing we agree with them is that we need to have strong parties. That we agree with them. And we wish them well, that they're forming parties together, they're coming together, and, preparation.
Are you worried that there'll be defectors to their party? It shows that there's some...
There's no difference what they're doing than what PNU did in 2007.
Yes.
It's just, bringing parties together.
But you're not worried about any defectors
The only difference now they're doing is that they don't want other names. They just want to have one name as a party.
Okay.
And I can tell you for free here, what they're doing now is geared for 2017. Come 2022, you take this to the bank and take a loan, they will form another party again for 2022. To go and now face the next election.
It won't outlive. It won't outlive
2017.
All right, and what you're launching on Saturday, it's not just a birthday party. If you would clarify, is it also the same to launch something that will be that would outlive the individuals?
We are different.
So what is the main agenda besides celebrating 10 years?
We are different in the sense that we are celebrating the birthday of a party that has achieved certain ideals, that has achieved certain values. They are celebrating a new party.
Okay. All right. And let me
that's the difference.
But let me weigh in on what they're doing in Mombasa.
Yeah.
Besides the facade of what you see out there. I actually, have a lot of respect for the Honorable Ideological. I think he's a very smart politician. And what is discovered is that, like in athletics, 800 meters race, you've seen how King Rudisha, finishes his race. When he finds that you are crowded, then he makes a final kick to separate men from boys, And what Raila is doing is actually killing the so-called notion of something called code. Because they're not going to Mombasa as code. Maybe you're going as Jubilee to merge into one party. But what he's saying now, what's all this rubbish about, trying to pretend, we are for a new, we are Ford Kenya, we are Wiper, we are whatever. There's going to be not consensus, but domination. And what Raila is saying is that you can also, if you can run fast, catch me. You were Tangura. If you're fast enough, catch me. But I'm not going to wait. You see, Jubilee is moving, I'm going to move. That is the end of court.
Clarify that as you also clarify on whether you condemn what happened in Homa Bay, the burning of some of the posters as we wrap up.
You see, I want to clarify what he's saying. What Moses Kuria is saying basically is the differences in ideology between CORD and Jubilee.
Is he spot on?
No, it's not. Because Jubilee believes in forming one big homogeneous party of KANU, Baba and Mama. Our ideology is different. We want to have coalitions of strong parties. We want to have a strong ODM, a strong Wiper, strong Ford Kenya, and strong any other party that's willing to form a coalition within CORD. So what we are basically doing is we are strengthening our parties. ODM is strengthening our party. You will see Wiper having activities to strengthen their party. You will see Ford Kenya having, that kind of, and then we come and join forces and form one coalition, and coalitions are all over the world.
Okay. Would you term this
as
condemn
what happened in Homa Bay?
Yes.
It's not good. It's not something that it's unacceptable, and we condemn it with the strongest terms possible. And we tell people of Homa Bay to allow those billboards to be put in those areas, and they should be allowed any Kenyans who admire those bills to go and sit near them.
The billboards.
The billboards, yeah.
All right.
We will condemn it.
All right, thank you very much for your time. Yes, yes, really, really briefly.
Yeah, very briefly. Those people who destroy the billboards in Homa Bay, they believe in the name of, they see us as an audience stronghold. So, and I want to take his word at face value that they will condemn it. So, can you please reimburse us the cost so that we can put them back?
All right, he is asking, actually, your mic is down, because he's asking if you'll reimburse the damage to what happened in Homa Bay, the billboard being burnt.
So it's not about his apart. So to demonstrate that you don't support that.
It's a good idea, but you can send a letter to the party.
All right.
With costing. Then somebody can look at it and say, what is the costing?
We can carry forward with this conversation after this
break. But it has
break.
to be ascertained whether those people who did those things are non-ODM supporters, and they were doing in the name. There's certain things to be ascertained before we can agree to
It was
it.
reported clearly that you made an audience stronghold.
All right, but you have condemned it, but and we'll continue with this conversation. The email you said that you'll send to him, please CC me on that. And as you can see, a lot of conversation can go around this particular issue. Saturday is the day that Jubilee will be launching their party. ODM in Mombasa, Mama Ngina Street, will be celebrating their 10 years as well. A lot to look forward to. We take a break. Stay with NTV Tonight.